This is the Employee Overview Report. All the activities performed by an employee over a period of time will be shown on this report. If information is then correct, it will pull through to your payroll live, so you can view your payroll at any time during the month, and you will know that that information is correct. So how we can do this is I can gather the period that I want to view, I can select the team that I want to view, and then I can generate the report. If I then scroll down, I can see here that any days that there were exceptions. So if the clocking wasn't correct, or if someone worked short time, I will be able to see them on these days. I can see, for example, on the 18th of the 9th, that one person missed a clock out and that 9 people worked overtime. If I then want to quickly change this or correct this, I can quickly move in. I can see that this employee worked on this team and that they clocked in but never clocked out. And let's say, for example, that the manager let me know, then I can just quickly add a clock out to correct that. Similarly with overtime, if I know that these employees did not work overtime or that they clocked incorrectly, then I can just go and add an override. So that is a quick way to fix any discrepancies that occur. But if I wanted a more detailed view on all of the employees, I can just scroll down. So here we can see the employee number. I can see who the employee is. I can see the team that they are in, and I can also see the total hours that they worked over this time period. For example, we can see that employee ATP01 worked 50 normal hours, as well as 4 hours of overtime. If I scroll down to the bottom, then I can also see, for example, that this specific employee also worked Saturday and Sunday hours. If they had worked any public holiday hours, it would also show here. And we can also see that if there was any leave that they accrued or spent, it would show here as well. If I then scroll to the right, I can see the days that they clocked in, and I can see a breakdown with my detailed view on of the hours that they worked and the activities that they worked on. So, for example, if I scroll to the top here, I can see that ATP01 worked 9 hours on hitting nuts, and that one of those hours were overtime. I can then see, for example, on Friday the 15th, that they worked 5 hours on harvesting, and that those were the only amount of hours that they clocked. Let's say, for example, this employee was supposed to work on a Saturday, but they never clocked in. This bell lets us know that they were absent on a day, and if I wanted to override it because I know that they were actually sick, and that is the reason that they didn't show up for work, I can add leave, I can choose the leave type, and then I can just add it into the system. So if this data is correct, it will pull through to your payroll as I mentioned before, and then you would be able to then obviously pay from that and move on. Over here, I can also see that we can bulk manage. So for example, if there was a day that it was raining and your team couldn't clock out, I can just quickly bulk manage and then clock out or clock in your entire team at once. And this just helps that you don't have to do each individual employee at a time. We can also see here is an example of a clock out miss. So if we then go to each employee, it will show if there were any discrepancies. If they missed a clock out and I know there's a reason, again, I can just go in and fix it. So if all of this is correct, it will then pull through to your payroll.